You don't fail the next day. 90 to 120 days from now, you pay the price in your life, don't you? You didn't do the work you were supposed to do. And so 3-4 months later, all of a sudden business is down again.
I've always wondered if the depression that people see en masse today, there's so much depression that people, it's a common trait.
Learn from your pain. Learn from all of the struggles that you will face in life and continue to make a difference in this world. And now that I'm at the age that I am today, I do that every day of my life. And recently, losing my father became even more of a struggle. And to this day, I still grieve. I still mourn them. But every loss that has happened has given me power, has given me strength.
And stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Just start doing it.
So the negative result always trails the negative behavior by about 3 to 4 months. For me, my happiness level or my confidence level, I got it going, and then I stopped reading books. I stopped listening to the right stuff. I stopped the right associations. It didn't happen immediately, but 90 to 120 days later, now my ego's out of control again. And so where my ego rears its head for me is I begin to think I got it figured out. I think it got it going. I believe my own press clippings, and I stop doing the things that are going to get me to the next level. And 3 to 4 months later, I go, man, I'm in a slump. Man, there's a setback right now. What the heck happened? What happened, dummy Ed Mylett, is 90 to 120 days ago, you stopped doing the things required to win. And so the truth is, where you are right now, I love you, brother or sister. I want you to win. I opened up today by telling you you're supposed to do something great with your life. But in order for that to happen, you have to do the great things now.
Be uncomfortable. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself.
Because the positive results will trail by 6 months to a year. So negatives come get us 90 to 120 days, but positives don't end up showing up sometimes for 6 months to a year or longer. It's kind of like when you first start to eat well, you might get a little bit of improvement, then it levels off and you're like, man, I'm eating well, I'm working out. Why isn't my body changing? Because the positive result is 6 months to a year away. That's why. But if you stop eating well, if you stop working out, you're 60 to 90, 120 days, your body's bad again. Same with our lives. If we're doing something great with our life, it's going to take us 6 months to a year to see the positive result. And so don't let your ego get in the way of saying, man, I'm doing all this stuff and it's not working. There's a delayed gratification coming. The same time, if you are winning right now, don't stop doing the things that got you where you are because you're only 90 to 120 days away from a setback. This is how the ego gets us. And so I want to remind you in conclusion, you're supposed to do something great with your life.
It has resonated through my veins to turn my pain into my passion. Now the thing you have to consider is that pain is good for you. Pain is going to do so much to you. Pain is going to do things that you could never understand. Sooner or later you have to realize that through the pain, that will come a victory. I don't even know if I want to see that one again. Now you're probably saying, Coach, why are you talking about all of this sorrow, all of these things that you've dealt with in your life?
Like it's a common condition. Oh, he suffers from depression. Oh, she suffers from depression. Like, oh, he's got herpes, you know what I mean? It's like it's a common thing. I've always wondered, or I've been wondering more and more recently. It really hit me when, have you ever seen Heinmo's Arctic Adventure? This guy lives in this incredibly remote area of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in the Alaskan interior. And he lives in this really small log cabin, and he hunts and gathers, and that's all he does. And he's very smart. Like, he's not a dummy at all. And he's been up there. He lives with his wife, and he raised children up there. And it's really, really, there's some dark moments in there because they lived like this from the time, like, when they had children up there.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game. And if God is waking you up continually every morning, once God wakes you up, that's a sign from God that he ain't through with you yet. That he has something more for you in store that he hasn't given to you yet. That's why you wake up every day, because God has more for you. Now, all you gotta do is understand that, because look at this. The moment God is done, when you served your purpose here, you won't wake up. But if you keep waking up, don't you understand that there's a higher purpose?
You got to find that outer source, power and strength to carry on to not defeat it. For just a little bit, I heard every day of my life, but I learned through the pain. My mother and father, gone. I had known a parents anymore when I lost my mother 10 years ago. I didn't think that this woman would just leave so soon, but she's gone now. It hurts to even speak on the transition and how she went through and the things that she had to endure. But she's no longer suffering. But I also remembered the words that she instilled in me and the things that she would tell me as a young man, and she would say to me, "Son, no matter how hard things get in life, don't let the pain turn you away from your truth."
And they lost their 2-year-old baby, like they tipped over in a canoe and lost their kid. And it's like, it's really intense when they revisit the site and leave flowers. And it was like 30 years ago, and they had several children since then, but this moment is still like this intense moment of loss for them, where they lost their baby. Is very happy and very, very smart and very connected and very articulate. And he firmly believes that human beings, when we evolved and developed and were hunter-gatherers, that there's a set of rewards. There's reward systems that are set up inside the human body, inside the very being that we embody, that don't get met in today's society. And it's one of the things that's causing depression, man, is that we're living our lives, many of us at least, in these very unfulfilling ways.
Your goal in life is just to get into a relationship with God where you can understand the purpose. And it ain't got to match nobody else's. You know, quit trying to be saved like everybody else. You got to get saved for yourself. You know, people all the time, I get questioned as a Christian all the time. "I can't believe you're a Christian, you cussing." Well, I'm a Christian that cuss. I'm still a Christian. I believe in God. What you want me to tell you? But if you knew who I used to be, you'd be perfectly fine with this occasional cussing that I'm doing now. You really would. If you knew the shit I really did, you'd be A-okay with this cussing. But I quit worrying about people a long time ago. People ain't got no heaven for you. People can't save you. And then I was thinking one day, if the scripture is true, that there's none perfect, no, not one. There are no perfect people, but there is a heaven.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to you. You're as though you're here in this place with me right now. I'm opening up to you right now. This is not something that is scripted. In fact, I don't even do scripted speeches. Anything like that, I am opening up to you to let you know that no matter what struggles that you have been through in your life, no matter how much pain that you experienced in your life, you have to turn into something greater than your pain.